Okay, dear Dhamma friends, this is the usual time for question and answer session. So today, for the moment, I find only one written question. If someone has presented more, may please point me out, point it out. I'll start with this already written one, and meanwhile I will invite, if anyone wish to raise questions to the audience, cordially invite. Dear Bhante, I have always used the nostrils as my point of focus during meditation, but sometimes I have a difficult time feeling the sensation of the breath there. So during this retreat, I have switched to feeling to the breath with the right hand wall of the abdomen. But now sometimes I feel that I should switch back to the nostrils, because I have heard that in order to attain the meditative absorption, your attention must be at the very small area at the nostril. Thank you for your advice. This is some kind of a misunderstanding, or kind of not really clarifying the point. Whenever the meditation is happening, specifically if we take internal, under the nose kind of object, something like rising and falling or breath, if your tendency, trait is to go towards inside meditation, that is to say, to inquiring into the object, there are three facets. So, one or the other would do, will help you to lead the task. And if I am to enumerate the three facets, whenever you are in the in-breath and out-breath, you comes to know that now my mind is face-to-face with in-breath and out-breath, I am not bewildered with thoughts, not with sounds, not with pain, so something like that. So that indicates you are with the breath, you are very, very aware that you are with the breath. That's one facet. The second thing is, you know where the breath is touching. What is this point is the question is addressing. Maybe at the nostril level. Or some people find the respiration more prominent at the rising and falling of the abdomen. So you know where the most prominently touching. The third aspect of is, what is the difference, experiential difference between in-breath mode versus the out-breath mode. So in the breathing, you feel air column rubbing and gushing through the nostrils, outwardly, inwardly. So at the beginning, you may sometimes discern the difference or in the rising and falling against your clothing, so normal tension, stiffness and tension. You can see gathering, accumulation of the tension and releasing of the tension, likewise the two modes. So they are very object isolated from the other objects, the touching point and the mode, difference in the modes are the three facets. So if you know one or the other, that is enough for meditation. Whether it is happening here or there, whether it is a big point or small point, is not the matter. So therefore this is kind of a wrong conception, wrong understanding. So therefore do not forcefully or intentionally change your object of meditation. Instead, see where you find the most prominent rubbing sensation and grossness of the sensation. That must be the leading point. So that is in the commentators, they say in Pali, yata pakatan vipassana viniveso, whatever may be the prominent, that must be your access. That must be your original starting point. From the prominence you have to go there, rather than give any other prominent or any other concepts. So therefore, whether you do with the in-breath and out-breath or rising and falling, the selection criteria must be the prominence of your object. The rubbing, if it is more gross, whatever may be, that must be your guideline, rather than thinking this is better than the other. So if that point is clear, this particular person can sort it out without any outside help, with one's own experience. Don't try to conceptually select this is better than other. So that's all, I think, a written question. If someone has placed, please remind me, and it will help to sort it out, that particular question, written one, I put the all one together. And if there are any other question arising for the time being, that's also welcome.
Back to the first day, if consciousness arises through the senses, okay, when we're born, and you gave the example of the cats that couldn't see, so they had no eye consciousness. So they had no eye contact, no eye consciousness. So when we're born in the womb, what are we born with? Until we come out, then we have eye consciousness, or are we born with some inherent qualities? Or
this is not much, how do you call it? We don't have that much of express knowledge on that. That indicates the present state of art kind of neurological experimentation. The brain is growing this way, starting from the top of your susumnata මොකක්ද කියන්නේ? Spinal cord. You have this thing, and it is growing further and further. You develop amphibian brain, and then reptile brain, reptilian brain, and then the mammalian brain, and on top of that only the human brain comes to being. So they are activating in a such evolution. We are repeating the evolution in each and every birth. So at last only the frontal two lobes come into being. They have more specialized faculties, and early they found that there's only one faculty regarding the seeing. If that is damaged, you can't see. But ultimately that is being disproved, and they found there are 14 to 16 places regarding the seeing. If one is disturbed, it can by a deroot, and another part can take that responsibility. And if the visual faculty is disturbed, your hearing part can be more sensitive and compensated. Like that, at the beginning we evolve like a telescopic event of the evolution. Slowly specialization develop. That is the theory according to the present experimentation happen. So, and otherwise there is no first-hand experience other than our speculation according to the neurological experimentation for the present.
I was thinking of the example, like if you have identical twins that were raised in different households, a lot of them have the same characteristics, or you have two children raised in the same household, which are totally different. So I just wonder, is there some aspect of the five skandhas that is transferred from life to life?
Yeah, that is according to the Buddhist explanation. It says 4 causative factors deciding any cross-section of the present behavior, that the karmic forces, both from the past accumulation of karma and the kind of food you are going to take, and the mind state, and the season. These 4 are influencing, and these things are some more often dynamic, and that decides the cross-section in the given moment. So even the twins are there are similarities as well as disparities. And others, people both in the same cultural background, there are some similarities as well as disparities, but there is no such a hard and fast rule. But from the genetical science, they say 50% inheritance, 50% environmental. 50-50, but it's also speculation. There's no proof. So therefore, that indicates very difficult to reduce into a limited number of causes. There are many, many causes. Our mind is always thinking in a linear way. We try to reduce one particular cause. But the situation is more complicated. So therefore, a number of variables responsible are in the multitudes. But it's a kind of putting into a theory only, but putting into a theoretical sense. The Buddha came out and says, for any kind of such a thing, is kammaja, chittaja, utuja, aharaja, that's karmic forces, season, food and mental background. But anyway, as far as the RNA, DNA configuration is concerned, it is 99%, 98, we are equal. All the others are external conditioning, cultural, seasonal, food and what acquaintance. That is, it happened, therefore, evolution-wise, humankind has more similarities than the disparities. If you are looking from the outward look, but if you are looking for the outward from the outward to inside, you feel a lot of disparities. So more and more you go to into the subject, understand how the mind is working, more and more you go to the center, you see the similarities. More and more you go to the supervision level, you are bound to see the disparities.
Ultimately, how can we influence where we're reborn?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
What can we do to be reborn in a better place?
So then you have to define what do you mean by the better place?
Well, what do you mean with that?
That's a good one.
You have to ask from the wife. I mean, that is the ultimate concern.
It's like you may try to increase the possibility because they think that maybe we have to be born again anyway in the samsara world. And how we can prepare ourselves like a predestination to increase the possibility for us to be born under the Buddha teaching, to encounter with the good teacher and something like this. So, like for me, I think, how can we born to be a man so we can born? Really to be born just like a woman has to teach children and take care of the family and something. What makes us so different? What we should do about that?
You can see the veracity, the big nature of the question, because if someone is going to define what is the good and the bad, the simple, it's a hell of a question. You are just starting only, no end. You have to define the good in the economic sense, political sense, social sense, spiritual sense. So you have to tell, I am talking on the spiritual ground, then we can have some kind of a narration. And in the spirituality also, whatever you believe is the best. So therefore, the Buddha says, Akkeya sanjino satta, akkeyasmin patitta, akkeyasmin apariññātaṃ, yogamayanti macchuno. Our complete knowledge is limited to symbols. We never go beyond the symbols. So therefore, symbol decides who we are, not the reality. And if you see the wavelengths, we can see the color only in the vibgyor. And beyond that, we can't see. Like ultraviolet and X-ray, they are there, but we can't see. So therefore, we see, if you are going to select by our vision, we select within that vibgyor. But you know the wavelength is from 0 to very high amplitude, huge range. This is visible, this is audible, this is... So you have to define it, and ultimately you say, now you are in the best. If I am telling this, now we are in the best, why you are looking for another one? What is the problem?
I think it's the wholesome desire.
No, I don't think desire is a bad. Anyway, whatever the desire is, it is wrong. Because you are denying the present moment. You are running away from the present moment. That is a crime. That is a sin. You have to pay for that. That's why the Buddha says, keep as much as possible. The here and now is the best. Our mind is so crafty, find excuses, escapism, to have something better. That indicates you are putting the present moment into the inferior situation. You are putting yourself into the inferior situation. This place here is bad. So then, whatever you are thinking out of this hatred, that hatred is what you call knowledge. If you are contented and happy here, and no knowledge necessary, and you will be ever in the present moment, therefore you have to understand anything we call knowledge, I mean the worldly knowledge, its base is the hatred. Because the present moment is no good. That is why you do research. This is why you expect something. You never live in the present moment, you are expecting, so that is sickness. It is a kind of imbalance, it is a kind of a paralytic way, so that you are the very person disproving this moment is not the best. So Buddha, out of his almighty knowledge and compassion, he says, mind you, born in the Buddha's dispensation as a human being is the best. The most rare thing, now we have already in it, but still have kind of we call hope, wholesome expectation. This is the prime task of Sankhaya. Sankhara means that mental, volitional preparations. It always prepares something. It never says present moment is bad. But this manifestation, searching indicates invariably it is not happy with the present moment. So we have to give a kind of course with the theoretical understanding, rational understanding and some of our past mistake, what is wrong with the present moment? So it says that no, we have to, the neighbor is in a better position and the other person is in a better position than me, and therefore we are behind the carrot. The donkey behind the carrot, always searching. So moment you comes to know that present moment is 100%, and that we have to prove one or the other way. So, second thing is you have to take delight in it. That is the beauty of a Buddha's teaching. Take delight. The present moment is the best. Then your radiation starts to go. Then you become Buddha. But even if you are in the present moment, you say, what the hell, it is very boring, it is very sleepy, and it is monotonous, and present moment is present moment, then you are deprived of this aesthetic value, the beauty of it. So therefore, understanding one thing, and many inferiority, the people with some inferiority, kind of incurable diseases, they can't understand, and they can't come and dwell upon the present moment. They are deprived of it. Therefore, they can't take delight of it. Because they are always in the inferiority or superiority complex. So therefore, to be enlightened, you must be in the middle class. That is also one thing. But even in the middle class, if you are taking delight in the upper class, and you say we are inferior than the upper class, again the sickness. If you are going to say we are superior than the lower class, another sickness. And you are not entertaining. And coming into it, and hilariating and enthusiasm, take delight of the present moment, I think that's the best for the human life. And whether we are happy or not, up to the age 6, we were. We were in it. We were very happy. Everything appeared very green. Everything new. But after the age 6, the brain starts different traits, accumulation and comparison. And then onward, always seeking for something better. Or pressure principle. And then onward, it's a sickness. It is kind of a cancer. So therefore, we have to first attack it with the theoretical understanding. No one in the world naturally happy. They are with tormentation, with suffering. And therefore, we can't change the world. This situation is already given. You have no change. Only thing is your attitude towards it. If you take it as something positive, it is taking as something to be take delight, and then you no challenge, no negation. So then onward you will not fight. You have nothing to develop tension, nothing to develop frustration. Then and there you are ready for you are fresh to the next moment. When I was in Burma, there was one monk. He was with me but not much meditating. And our Sayadaw was 80s at that time. And there were 4 to 6 girls. They are coming from Nepal. They are so bright. They learned Burmese language. They became the country first in the exam, in the Buddhism. And they were the one helping Sayadaw whenever he is going out, packing his Sayadaw's thing and washing and everything. So anytime they can go to Sayadaw. We can't. We have to have an appointment, even then only with the particular time, otherwise we won't give them. One day that monk is telling, I wish in the next life I will be a girl. So then I asked, you see that they have the access to anywhere. We being monks and we came from all the way, we have no appointments. You see, once you become a male, you again will wish to be a female. And when you become a female, you would wish to be a male. And my mother, she had 11 children, 5 boys, 6 girls, and she ever happy to be a male. But therefore she respected boys than the girls. But she was 100% a monk and the mother. Everything she take care. And one day Venerable Dhammajiva, my teacher from Australia, he went to the kitchen while mother was making a cup of tea and asked, where is the dishwasher? Where is the cloth washer? Where is the gas cooker? Nothing. She is working with the fireplace. No machine. And she is catering for all the 11 children. And everyone is educating. When the visitor comes, she is so happy to make a cup of tea without any knowledge on English. So happy. So I can't imagine. And give the kind of a positive inspiration. She will always be industrious. Do something. Don't waste your time. Learn something. And like that, she has no any understanding of the nirvana or enlightenment, but she says, live in the present moment as a happy mother. Of course, she inspires the maleness, but by looking at from the outside, she is a full-fledged mother. So still I feel the inspiration. I was her pet, in a sense, so I make all nuisance. And we have, imagine, 11 children and kind of a day, what a house it was. And so I was so happy with her, observing. Now only I can understand, but the way she was working. So therefore the maleness, femaleness we can bypass, we can do away with. Whenever the mind comes to the Udyabba Jnana level, that means everything is arising and passing away. Then onward, no labels. Up to that level, that recognition with the female nature or male nature, and in the sense each and every person have the both. You have some traits related to the feminine character or the masculine character. It changes. So therefore, don't take it as much more serious as you are taken vipassana. On theoretical basis, on philosophical basis, you can't maintain that argument. Vipassana is denying the labels, denying the identities, starting from the identity, and you are, as far as the meditation is progressing, you do away with labels. You try to see the intrinsic nature, the original nature, rather than its superficial labels. Anyway, your question remains. But we went into the other side of the question by giving the mics to her.
No, yeah. Your question is still there, the book for you.
So what is good? You say that how can we go to the next life? So I am asking. So you have to define from this life onward what you expect as the good. What is the good?
You read about these Tibetan monks that they can pick where they want to be reborn. I just wonder if there's...
Okay, I will give a full chance for you to reborn next time. Where you want to go? You see, whenever you are endowed with the chance, you get lost. You have to select. Wherever the world is a hell. You can paint a lot of pictures, but when you go and see, everywhere the suffering is the same. That is why I wanted to say that the doctor and the patient in the same suffering. And the teachers and the disciples in the same suffering. Parents and the children are in the same suffering. Rulers and the subject are in the same suffering. But from the subject point of view, rulers are well off and better off. Children think our parents can do anything, but they are not doing for us. That is the way. So wherever you go, and that the best thing is, I would say, the best punishment is to give you what you like. That's the best punishment. The Buddha says, Jine Kadariyan Janine, earn the person or win the person by giving what he likes. Then he becomes a slave. Up to you earn it. It is very prosperous, it is glorious, and soon you go there, there is no more. And in Sri Lanka it says, whenever the bud about to bloom, it's very beautiful. Once it bloomed and petals fallen down, no one looks at it. When the wave is preparing and coming up to the seashore, it's very nice. One is come and dash on the seashore, and when those splash go back, no one is looking at it. When the sun is running, you go to see the sunrise. When the sun is up, you put sunglasses not to see the sun. I mean, that is the world. Before it comes, it is so nice when it is coming from the horizon and you go long way to see the sunrise. So anything you like, best thing is to give, if possible. And then you understand that happiness is not outside. Happiness is in your attitude, in your culturing and your restrainment of your this thing, and take inwardly, consider here now I am the most happiest, most contented, most satisfied, most saturated mind, and our whole knowledge, whole earnings, whole achievements are not allow us to be here and now. So therefore our whole earnings, achievement, abilities, everything, all credit will be debits in long run. In your earning, you feel what the kind of thing in the competition only I earn it and some or the other I have to earn it. Soon you earn, that has become yet another thing, and you have another hope and keep on. It is like gambling, and never you will be happy. So therefore, conceptually, or in a deductive way, take it for a grant, present moment is the best. So may I make you 5 minutes or 10 minutes to be in the present moment. And the Buddha says, moment you realize or experience the present moment, he gives 2 criteria. One thing, you can't go to the present moment unless otherwise you discipline yourself. Unless otherwise you have a kind of a methodology. Never mind goes. Therefore, whenever you come to the present moment, you can be happy. I earned it only by discipline. Therefore, thanks to the discipline, I can be here. Second thing, in the present moment, no defilements. Simply no defilements. So that means no tension, no frustration, no neurosis. Difficult to maintain, that is a separate issue. But go and see, can you go to the present moment without prior training? No. When you go there into the present moment, can you entertain any kind of frustration? No. So take it as a temporary enlightenment, temporary disenchantment, and try all the ways and means to keep that present moment as intact as possible. That is what we call the way of living, or livelihood. So it is an open issue. Once you introduce this concept, once you realized, once you experience, be in the present moment, and the moment you're going to cherish it, then onward, thousand and ways and means you to gain and again to come back in, and again to appreciate it, and then only you see other people, those who appreciate in the present moment. Their connection is going to start then onward. Till that you don't see any person in this world in the present moment and happy. But once you go and appreciate the present moment and be happy, you see other people in the right round, and fairly substantial proportion. Earlier you think the world is something full of defilement and people are crazy and people are so much with the desire. But if you look at the world from the present moment or from the diligent point of view, mindfulness point of view, huge number of people, they are minded their own business. They are not disturbing others. They are not have any campaign. They don't have any advertisements. They live a simple living, high thinking. So you can get connected and magnetized to them once you prove yourself, once you appreciate yourself with the present moment. So for that, nothing lacking. No any external thing necessary for that to do. We are already endowed with, only the matter of aligning and directing into that thinking. The first one, right? Dear Bhante, is it okay to set a goal to reach the end of such as to spelling I may find difficult to read. Why don't you read it?
I have trouble reading that too. Dear Bhante, is it okay to set a goal to reach the end? Dear Bhante, is it okay to set a goal to reach the end of a distance, such as to a crack in a sidewalk, with a concentrated mind? I found this very helpful yesterday.
What is the term that I found? It was very difficult to read. Walk a distance.
Yeah, well, like if I said I will walk to that wall with a concentrated mind and really have that strong intention.
Now, this is the way we set the goal at the beginning, which is reachable, which is manageable. You fix it. For example, in my case, I just wanted to daily, while brushing the teeth, to keep the mindfulness. Likewise, till I go to the school, from that house onward, I try to keep the mind. From the house to the school, we had about 2 kilometers. It is too big. But to have a little distance, try to walk. And I had a very strange, it was not, of course, with instruction from someone, we have to walk fairly about 1 kilometer to go to the town. So we are living in a remote area. So we are very unhappy to go to the town. It is like a big task. So on the way back, often I had a kind of a reflection when I was at the age of 8, 9. I recollect my memory when I am passing that particular tree, when I am passing that particular house, when I am passing that particular landmark, I can't remember. And then I find as a area I have the memory and then the gap, again my memory, again the gap. And at a time, all of a sudden I stand still in the middle of the road and think about what happened during that gap. Either I was talking with someone or kind of thing. So, it is something related to that. If you have instead the aim to go up to that point, and you can test whether it is verifiable, achievable, practical. But daily it won't help. Again, you have to increase the task, increase the challenge, little by little. And my Venerable Dhammika, he told, in the war, they use the ink drop system. Ink drop system is, if this is the area we have to conquer, we don't know the arrangement of the enemy. What we can do is we can send a helicopter with parachute soldiers and drop an ink drop here, and they start establishing that particular area and spreading little, and another drop here, another dropping. Likewise, you can little by little increase the number so that ultimately whole area will be inked, starting with a little drop. So in the day-to-day activities, you can start with one single task. So basically it must be you are doing by yourself, and you must be regularly doing in the same day, each day, under a very, very simple task. More than the general task, you make a determination to be mindful. And then whenever become regularized, that becomes your day-to-day activity. You can add yet another task. Slowly you can increase the number of mindfulness dots, mindfulness streets. And then in that way you can train mind in a gradual process. So it is, sometimes teachers are assimilating that kind of task and give the disciples, or you can fix for yourself. Ultimately you can see no limit. Enormously you can increase it. Up to the point of morning to the evening, you can keep the track with the mindfulness. Sometimes you know up to this point mindfulness, and from there onward I was not mindful. That much you can clearly say. Not only the white part, even the lacking part, even the black spots where you were not mindful, that also you can ultimately limit, delimit, isolate. That much mindfulness is there, and there's one particular sutta, directly the Buddha says, whether you know or not, mindfulness is always there. Only thing is you are not appreciating. In a given mindset, the mental factor called sati, mindfulness, is always there. But the thing is, you don't give the priority. You give priority for any other kind of thing, so then mindfulness becomes shadow behind. So if you keep the mindfulness as the primary task, main task, most important other than any other gain, fame and kind of thing, you see it has so much of capacity to understand, to comprehend, to overrule any difficulty or any possibility. Huge range. Only thing is, so you are not appreciating it, you are not giving the priority for the mindfulness. You keep other things, so then mindfulness, it is not a social character, it seems, according to Venerable Jnanaponika, unless otherwise it is very shy character. If you are not going to give the priority, it will go to a corner and just wait. But if you give the priority and ask him to take the chair, he has the full potential to go in the chair and decide and control the whole meeting. So slowly, you are assuming the responsibilities or the qualities of the mindfulness, and once the mindfulness taken over, you can put it into autopiloting, and then machine will run. And then onward, mindfulness knows what is the next best, rather than the rational mind. If you are going to decipher the rational mind, you are always selecting the hell. Sure, take it into grant for me. If you decide to select, you select the bad. Our rational mind don't know. It is asking only for it is crazy for the conceit. He is always asking one upmanship, even in the hell. Even in the hell you will ask a upper position. Let the mindfulness to take. When the mindfulness taken the control, you can understand it is whole harmony with the world. You are working completely with the harmony with the world. You are just like water. Take the shape of the vessel, never asking something. Mind is something like water it becomes. And then let the mindfulness decide, it will take the best decision. So therefore, you can start the mindfulness in the task force like some kind of a quantifiable task and let it happen. And Pandita Sayadaw, he mentioned, don't assign unachievable task at the beginning, then you will get discouraged. Assign only achievable task. You can achieve very happily. In a playful manner, then you are always positive. For example, when you are in grade 8, 10 or something like that, whenever you go to mathematics exam, you are given with the question paper. And don't start with the difficult sum. Always read the sum, get the easiest one, work out, and then mind become happy. It goes to the second difficult, and that also happy. Then one by one, ultimately it can go even to the most difficult task. So therefore don't start with the difficult task. Mindfulness also the same. The second part of the question.
An example of, I guess, what this question is about is when I came in the door out of the ring and I sat down and I was agitated and kind of like, oh, I wish I could be mindful. I wish I could listen better. But then I tried to say, okay, I just rushed in, so it is the nature of things that I be agitated, not be able to listen well. That's okay. That's the way that it is. And then that kind of practice seems to help calm me down and bring me back to the present moment. So I was wondering if you would encourage me to keep practicing like this, and if so, how I might refine this practice.
I will add a little joke into that. That is to say, once you try to be mindful, these become mistakes. Before you introduce the mindfulness into your life, you wouldn't notice even this kind of thing. You are not responsible. You came rushed, and who the hell going to recollect and say that it is not bad, it is not so good, and it is not the best and kind of thing. So therefore, once you introduce mindfulness, it creates kind of irritation. Everyone understands as negative, but it's a very good sign. I am repeating. Once you introduce the mindfulness into a stream of consciousness, irritation going to happen. You have become self-critical. I think you should have done in the better way. But you have to understand it is because mindfulness is working. That is why this irritation is. This irritation is a very good sign mindfulness has taken root. There are 4 characteristics. Irritation, fault-finding, self-accusation, and pedantic nature. All 4 comes once you introduce the mindfulness. If you are unmindful, no limits, no reconsideration, no account balancing. You go. Whenever the mindfulness happens, even the slight little thing make irritation. Therefore, it is rational to ask question, am I progressing or going backward? You feel like going backward because you find a lot of irritations now. It's a very good sign something happening. It's as if when the woman gets conceived, she developed kind of the fetus going to emit bad things into their bloodstream, toxins. And then she feels giddy, vomitish, and food tolerance, everything goes upset. So something like whenever the mindfulness conceived, a lot of these kind of irritations going to happen. And self-accusation. You are take the moral responsibility and says, I would not have done like that. It would be like that. Like, before the mindfulness, no such judgmental. And fault finding with others. This fellow is a meditator, but he is not doing like other teachers. Earlier you don't care, he is not a friend, he is nowhere. And everything you wish to have a pedantic work to do. So I read it in the Ouspensky. I don't know whether you have read the books by Ouspensky. He has written a lot about Gurdjieff. Gurdjieff is a Russian person. And Gurdjieff has gone for 30 years searching the root cause of the original religion. He came to know every religion comes from the same root. Who went and 30 people went, all of them were carpenters. Only he returned, everyone died. But he came a lot of experience, but no consistency. And in his character, one day he has met a Russian in Russia, one German citizen, but he is originally from India. He has a vast knowledge, so ultimately Gurdjieff find and going and listening is very good. One day that particular, he says, Mr. G is telling, whenever this you have become awareness, alertness comes, these four things are going to happen. Irritation, fault finding, self-criticism, and pedantic nature. So that particular person finds these all four as negative. Irritation is not a good one. Fault finding is not a good one. Self-criticism is not a good one. Expecting everything to be happening in the pedantic is not a good one. But it's a very good sign where the mindfulness is working. So therefore only the mindfulness people get together and talk about this, and you can put everything into the positive perspective. Otherwise, if you are individually going to consider, you put it and recognize this as bad. So that is the exact intrinsic meaning of a discussion. In the discussion we can rectify and we can put everything into white. Otherwise everything appears blue, black. So therefore this understanding yourself is very good, and the next part is, next day you will see, you came without any rush, calm and quiet, but another person came and slammed the door. Then what happens? Then you can, the fellow can't understand that we are in the noble silence retreat and he is doing and immediately you will understand now, okay, but one day I also did it. Then you sympathize that person. Your sympathy comes definitely out of your sympathy to yourself. If you are not sympathizing yourself, never you can sympathize outside. Everything you do is just, that is called vested interest, dangerous. If you sympathize yourself in a good reason, with a good intention, then you can understand. Whenever someone is not mindful, they are doing to try kind of thing, but they are not, it is not their intrinsic nature. So cause and effect, if it is happened to me, I also the same. Today lucky I did not, but still the same thing is happening, so the understanding happens. So therefore, even though mindfulness appears like a private here and now business, ultimately it is embracing the whole world, not the here, but the geographically the whole universe. Not the present moment, now, past and the future. Not only me, all humans. So it's a matter of implanting. First you implant it, it grows without bounds and leaps. It jumps, so therefore don't rush. Just keep on, let it, of course you have to give conducive conditions. That is to say, facilitating. That means not to disturb it. Don't do which is disturbing mindfulness. It is growing. Slowly, slowly is growing just like a tree. So I think it's a good way of sharing with your own experience, appear like bad, but it is a very good eye-opener for anyone to judge from the positive point of view rather than just on the critical point of view. Then ultimately we are mutually understanding each other, sympathizing each other rather than finding fault with each other. Yeah, in the Upanita side, whenever Of course, working with him is very difficult, very tough. 14 hours, you have to be mindfulness, no talk, and everything must be monitored and feel like vigorous imprisonment or like open prison camp. It's such a type. But he says, once you implanted, once you started, it is growing, then onward we become a Dhamma family. This become our lifeblood. Whenever you become mindful, you are sharing with others, whether we are under the same roof or we are scattered in the whole world. As far as we are mindful, we are in the same family. And otherwise we have the blood relationship, but this is the relationship through the mindfulness, through the diligence. Each moment you come to know you are mindful, you know you are contributing to the Dhamma family. And more you to be mindful, more and more you to find your own faults, your own mistakes. Don't take it as a crime. Because now it is happening in a short circle, not the second person coming and pulling you by your ear and telling this is wrong and pay this much and go to the prison. Now it is within yourself, you can. And be sympathetic. And ultimately you can see that is growing enormously. It's a matter of time, in the sense. Some people are very catching very fast, others are very slow. But it is just mere external calculation. But the mindfulness is ever growing. It's like a cancer. Once it has taken root, whatever you are going to do, it doesn't care, it's growing. I would say it's the biggest addiction in the world. Once you've taken one packet, then onward, you can't do away with that. So it is like the heroin, or it's like for a trip, an ecstasy. Take one, I am trying to sell at least one packet, then my task is finished. You will find your own ways and means how to develop it. And you will have enough knowledge, enough initiative for that.
You mean to say meditation can cause addiction as well?
Yes, it's the biggest addiction in the world.
So, when the mind and body rhythm synchronize, there is a possibility of serenity happening right after.
Yeah.
And that is that a type of sensual pleasure?
Of course.
So that can cause attachment as well?
Yes. So that is my biggest attachment for 30 years. Wherever I go, I try to be very happy, and I don't care anything. I take biggest care about my body, more than the Hollywood actress or something like that. I always try to keep it as much as healthy, as much as strong. Listen to it, what does it need, and consult the body knowledge as much as possible. And then only I consult the doctor.
You said that serenity
that
occur after the synchronization of the two things and attachment. So the focus should be staying on the mindfulness as a primary object all the time. Because once when you take attention to the serenity, you're going to lose the point of primary object. Is that right?
Yeah, from the beginner's point of view, starting point of view, that. But if you give the full attention to the primary object, that also disappears. Then what? Then you have to focus the attention. You are not going to keep the primary object in the safe and lock and keep the key in your... Primary object has its own due practical value. It is leading you from the gross to the subtlety. When the subtlety happens, what? Where to fix the attention? Attention becomes nullified, null and void. Not necessary. Then you are already in the river dissolved into the sea. No identity. Up to that, of course, you are Gangi, you are Jamuna, and all the names and everything are there. But the river go and empty into the ocean, that is called oceanic. When you become oceanic, that is what you call ecstasy, that is what you call the aesthetic, that is what you call this harmony.
So actually, we can use that effect, the serenity, after synchronization of the two things, to be a part of alternative addiction rather than using substance, right?
Yes, that is, it is very, it is no side effects, no after effects, no money, no brain damage. So that is why the compassion means Buddha's compassion. Buddha says, I know you people are behind the happiness. I will give you something free of charge. No side effects, no after effects, no brain damage, and you will be the happiest.
So this can be an alternative way to heal those who have addictions.
But the thing is, once you addicted, so-called addiction, it is too late for them to be mindful. So therefore you have to, it says that in the, where there is no doctor, there is one, I don't know, I show you the book. It was in your desk. It says if you are going to advise the people with alcoholic, advise them before drinking. What's the use of advising them after drinking?
Before.
Even after, no hope. Once you addicted, once you doped, no instructions working. So therefore, if you have to advise the people with alcoholism, you have to advise them before they take the first shot. Like when people are going for the inferiority or superiority kind of a mentality or any kind of a disease, they are not in a balanced mood to start the mindfulness. So they can only use the mindfulness in the therapeutic value. But the mindfulness has therapeutic, as you mentioned, you can feel it bodily also. But it is a deep-reaching approach, is preventive rather than therapeutic. So that's the thing in the West and the East. East is ready to understand this religious aspect is preventive rather than curative. But the West is, of course, religious. They still trying their best to see the curative value, healing values. And with the time, I think they will change the perspective to see preventive side. Preventive side is very, very mature.
You know what they call it when we go back to our regular jobs after a retreat? Buddhist hangover.
Yeah. I mean, that's not on the job, even your family members. Yeah. Definitely. So that is why when I started at the age 26 and I tried up to 36, and during that time I finished my first degree, postgraduate, did the job all the time. It was full of success. But the secret was not let others know that I am meditating. Don't let anyone knows that you are in a moral restrainment, or you are in a concentration restrainment, or you are in wisdom restrainment. Play hell with the people. Just as a mad world, you also another mad person play. Whenever you have the chance and you go to your team, maximize the mindfulness as much as possible. So you have to balance the mad world and this disciplined world. You can do. And you people are very weak in that sense. I know it. I am a master for that. And even last time when I had to go to Singapore and thank Venerable Dhammika for that instruction, he says, I can't remember that I gave you that instruction. Then I told that 2 weeks, month is such a memory, so vivid memory I have, the lucid memory. Each and every you told me, it's like absorbing into a blotting paper. And he told that in Sri Lanka, you are a young person, no one believes that you are going to take a religious turn or meditation, so therefore don't show. And my family also is a traditional, born Buddhist. So even then if I wish to sit, I lock my door, and behind the door only I go into sit. I never show, and even I used to go twice a week for their discussion and sitting. I never let my mother know that I am going to a religious circle. And she thought that I am behind something. That is the way. So not even that the drug addicted people, they are also not showing others. They are keeping this as a secret. This is also an addiction. Don't show it to others.
But that considered deceiving, which is not truthful.
Otherwise, how can I escape myself? If I am going to read in the broad daylight, people never understand me. I am creating unwanted problems. Even now, after 30 years, after 74, we passed out, and 84, 94, 204, and 2000, already 30, 40 years, when my university colleagues rediscover me, they can't believe that I was such a playful and such a crafty and person. How it happened? Then I told you don't know, while I am with you, I had these kind of classes and kind of thing, I maintain it. They thought I am on the other extremes. So that is the way that you have to treat meditation as a secret. And among the people, those who are meditating, we share without any limits. Whenever you go outside, you fit into the society. You are not creating, you are not initiative. You don't take initiative to throw parties. You are not taking initiative to do all the kind of things. But someone is inviting, if it is unavoidable, you can go there, you can take part. But behave accordingly and say bye-bye and tata. Still maintain the relationship, so no hangover there.
But you feel yourself out of place when you go to a party, they are drinking, they are eating only the meats and so on. So it's very difficult to keep that balance. So that's why
recently I heard there are some non-alcoholic beer now. Yes. At that my time I had only Coca-Cola. So I am just asking for a Coca-Cola and just sip it. Of course at home is better than me, better than Coca-Cola, I have better, but as an invitation I go there. Then when I am asking, if they say, you must come, then I have to mind you, I am vegetarian. You have to prepare a special meal. Is it still, are you going to invite me? Yes. Can you make sure that without troubling your procedure, I can have a plate and I am not drinking? Never mind, still come. Then I go. I am not asking them to please come and invite me, or I am not going to throw parties. So whenever you have to understand, there's a methodology. People can't influence our likings and dislikes. It's unhuman. No. We can interpret the terms if they are inviting. We have our own rights. And it is not bad also, and we are not causative. We are telling that if you really need me, this is the situation.
They are not going to buy non-alcoholic beer for you.
You have to demand.
I take some non-alcoholic
Yeah. Or you can say that I am not drinking. Yeah. So there's no party for me. I am obliging. Your invitation, I am coming, no problem. And when I was in New Zealand, 2 girls, they were almost at the end last year of their university. They both came, they did a marvelous job. They never meditate. They were to wash the dishes and plates. They told you people eat and keep the thing, we will clean it and go, this is our duty. And their parents are meditating. And ultimately parents came and told, why don't you want to give an interview for these 2 girls? Then I told, if they wish, I don't have no problem. I have no problem, they come. Then both of them came. Then when they are coming, I asked, what is your attitude towards your parents? They are overruling us, they are always bossy and blah, blah, blah. I know the girls when they are starting. Then it's very nice that you people are so cultured and helpful. If your parents are so bossy, how you get the chance like this? It is due to our initiative we got it. Then I asked that when you marry, when you are going to get children, what must be your attitude to your children? We will give the full liberation. Then I told under the prevailing circumstances, if the children with the full liberation, do you think they will come to the correct side? Then I asked them, how do you manage with the parties? And they say the more than the boys, girls are drinking. Percentage. So therefore, when we go to the parties, one girl told, I go, before start the drinking, I come out. I asked them how you are going to teach this lesson to your children. Can they say bye-bye just before drinking? You see, it is a vicious cycle. It is not your parents. When you become parent, you also the same. I am accusing you. So therefore, if you wish to break this vicious cycle, be mindful. Otherwise, the culture is, as such, it is hooked up with each other, chain action is good. So therefore, you can break it. I am never accepting any excuses. You can break it, but still be social. Still have your solitude. Still you have your freedom. Still you have your peace of mind. And if you are breaking your solitude, if you are going to accuse it to the outside world, I am telling you, you are not efficient enough. You don't know Dhamma. Dhamma is very powerful. You can live a complete social life, still maintain your policies, your likings and dislikes, but openly declare, I like solitude. I like myself freedom. I like my peace of mind, but I like you people also. So therefore don't influence me, then it is going beyond the mark. I mean, it's a very good role model, if you can live up to that point. Otherwise, if everyone is very calm and quiet and disciplined, nothing special. You have to live in this multi-facet world and still maintain your integrity. Of course, there may be some haphazards, but you can. Okay, now we have taken time allocated for the discussion. So if there are no more any other questions, we are going to wind up. And we'll be having about 50 minutes of walking meditation and meeting here at 3 o'clock for another group sitting. Thank you very much for the participation.